Hey guys, Mrs. Geyer and Logan here. I decided to let Logan be a bit of the spotlight today during our lesson, and he was pretty stoked about that. Right, Logan? Alright, so today's objective is pretty simple. It's just adding on to what we've already been talking about with markups. So let's just get right into the objective. This should be on page 66 of your ISN. So our objective today is I can find the total cost of a product with tax. So we've just been kind of finding straight costs of products, pretending that we live in a tax-free land, but we don't. We get taxed on our products if we go shopping, you know, at wherever, department stores or pharmacies or whatever. So typically in a community, taxes are somewhere around 7 or 8%. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. %, or that should be an OR, 7% or 8%. Sorry, got a little, there we go. So we've got 7% or 8%. So 7% as a decimal, just so we can get that all set up for our math, is going to be 7/100ths. And that's because we dropped the percent sign. And that invisible decimal that used to live right there, we move it 1, 2, and we add a 0, and we have the decimal in that place. And then 8% would be, again, we drop that percent sign, we take the invisible decimal here, we move it 1, 2, so it's going to be 8% just like that. And that's the typical amount of tax, but it will read on your receipt, wherever you might shop. Typically grocery items or food is not taxed, so you wouldn't notice on those receipts, what have you, or if you're buying clothes or shoes or any of those things, you could be taxed. So now we're just gonna kind of go into a problem where we can use this value. So the original price of a product or an item, I'm kind of using that word product in reference to things that are sold in a store, but it's also used in math as the answer of a multiplication problem, so I can see how that might be a little bit confusing, but right now with product and in the previous lesson, it's in reference to items that are purchased in a store. So we're going to say we have an original priced product. Let's say maybe we're buying like a blank skateboard deck or something. So that would run about 50, 60 bucks. So we'll say it's $50. So that would be the original price. And we'll say the tax. Now remember what we said before, the tax can be thought of as a markup. So it's marking the cost of the original price, or the amount of the original cost of the product. It's marking it up, and we'll say in this case it's marking it up 8%. Now remember, we already converted that 8% up here. We talked about dropping that percent sign, and we're converting it to that decimal. And we're gonna go ahead and apply it to our percent equation, which was A, which is the part, equals the percent times the whole. And hopefully this percent equation is just becoming much more familiar to you as we go over it in each of our lessons. But so in this case, we're going to be multiplying our original price, $50, by the tax amount, which is 8% or 8/100ths. And we're going to be looking for that part. So our percent, again, was in a decimal form. We're going to multiply that by the whole, $50. And anytime I'm multiplying two numbers, I like to put the number with the most digits on top, even if it's not a bigger number. We're gonna multiply that. So then 0 times 8 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. And then when we're gonna go ahead and multiply that next digit, we put a placeholder. 5 times 8 is 40, we raise that 4. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 4. So we're gonna go ahead and put that there. And then 5 times 0 is just another 0. So then we add all that up. And then we need to pay attention to how many place values were behind the decimal in the problem. We have got 2. So make sure there's 2 behind the decimal in your answer. And we can just ignore that 0. It really doesn't have a role in this answer. So it's $4. So now we know our tax is going to be $4. But we're not done. Just like when we were finding if a product was marked up 20%, we have to add whatever that amount is to our original price in order to get our final price. So our total price, and this is again plus tax, is going to be $50, that original price, and I'll go ahead and add the 2 decimals, plus $4. So our final price is going to be $54 plus tax. And I mean, hopefully that makes sense and you guys are able to blaze through this week's work with this information. Okay, have a good one.